is Elliot and Jose coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois, here on the Comic Culture Warrior video channel. I'm just going to call it CCW TV from now on. I hope. Did you see the new banners and stuff that I've been putting on the website? I've been trying to tweak things up. I've been trying to make things look better and fixing things on our different channels and on the blog. You didn't see it? You didn't notice it?
I noticed the band.
I work so hard.
On the YouTube homepage?
Yeah.
I was looking at it last year. I'm like, God damn, why hasn't he changed this?
I did. They changed it. It's a new one. It's different, but it's subtle. Just so you know, the channel will be going through some changes over the next few weeks. I'm probably gonna redesign the whole.
Yeah, because I was kind of thinking like you need a new background. Because I was actually thinking about the last race, so I didn't notice anything different.
I'm gonna probably do
the same old shit.
So I hope people aren't too attached to the image of the wall of comics.
I'm sure they're not.
Although some Zipblock Bloody says that when we change venues, our videos.
Oh, that was somebody else.
Or was it? Who was it?
It was Agmaster.
Was it Agmaster? Sorry guys, if I'm attributing to the wrong.
I think that's who it was.
Agmaster.
But it wasn't Zipblock.
No, you're right. It was Agmaster. Talking about the marketing of the channel, which is pretty non-existent. We don't do a whole lot of marketing, you know.
Yeah, well, bad economy, we had to let the marketing department go.
Yeah,
all of them.
Really, all of them.
It's just us now.
Yeah. Speaking of marketing,
man, he's marketing the hell out of this book.
Yeah, Underground by Jeff Parker and Steve Lieber. By they've worked on something before together, though.
It wasn't Interman, was it?
I think it was. After the critical and box office success that Whiteout was at the theater. I know.
Well, you know what was even better is that fucking Jennifer's Body movie bombed.
It did.
Like $6 million.
Yeah.
Fuck
Diablo Cody. No, I put that more in Diablo Cody.
Well, I hate Megan Fox, so anything bad.
I like Megan Fox. I like her.
I don't. I'm so glad that movie bombed.
All right, back to Underground. Jeff Parker and Steve Lieber give us this kind of well, it's a thriller.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thriller that takes place in the Appalachian Mountains. And what's going on here is you have this series of caves that the local businessman wants to open up to tourism, so that, as he says, the local economy will benefit from it. But on the other side, you have the rangers who want to preserve these very delicate ecosystems that exist in these caves. And what happens from that? And this is a very grounded character piece. It's a very grounded character piece. You read the first few issues, and here's the thing, I'm going to tell you right now. If you're a fan, if you read this book, you see the cover and you're expecting The Descent, okay? It's not that, okay? It's not The Descent. So, just so you know, this is a very expertly written piece. The first issue sets up the characters, sets up, your protagonists, your quote-unquote villains, although no one in this book is really a villain.
Well, kind of.
I mean, here's the thing that I liked about Underground. It sets up this whole thing where you're introduced to the problem, you're introduced to the characters, but the characters feel very three-dimensional.
Well,
I mean, there's some people that you're going to agree with, there's some that you're going to disagree with, there's some that you're going to view as heroes, some that you're going to view as villains, but Parker is very adept at not painting in broad strokes where everything is very absolute.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, you're gonna at one point meet two characters in here who you might look at as villains. I look at them as dumbasses. They do some really stupid stuff that sets off this chain reaction of bad shit happening. But I didn't view them so much as bad people as just ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
They're not crazy, Timmy. He's just ignorant. I don't mean to speak in such vague terms. but it's just hard to describe this book without saying, you know what?
This is the first book that I read when I bought my comics this week, and I wanted to do a review of it. But I was trying to think of how to go about doing it, but and I read some other reviews online, but I couldn't think of an exciting way to present it because it's done in a way that if I explained it in the review, it would sound boring.
Yes.
But it's anything but.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the first issue, it introduces you to all the main characters that are going to be in the story, and it gets in, and it is a character piece where you get to know everybody and what everyone's about, and you get a feeling about what their motives are, who they are, the relationships that they have with one another, and then towards the end, things start moving and start progressing, and I can see it from here on out just kind of being more of that, more action kind of, and just stuff moving, because Parker has already established all these characters in the first, 3/4 of the first issue.
Right. And the character, he establishes them, you have sympathy for everyone, or at least, maybe not so much sympathy, but you understand where everybody is coming from. So their motives make sense. And the one thing that I've always liked about Jeff Parker is that his stories are driven by characters. They're not driven by plots. They're not driven by, just the conveniences of what he needs to happen next, and the next beat of the story.
Yep.
Everything grows organically from the characters. It's evident in all the stuff that he writes. There's this bit here in the very beginning where we meet... we meet
Wes, the girl.
The girl, yeah, but I'm saying we meet the two Rangers who are the story's kind of gonna center around, and Wes is having a conversation with her in the mirror, and it's like halfway through you're going, what? She's trying to figure out what she's going to say to the guy when he wakes up, because this was like their first tryst, and that the awkwardness that comes from it. To me, it's really cool to see that coming from the female perspective. Because, guys seem to have this idea sometimes that women are always together and they're the ones who always, they're always confident and they're always shooting us down. Women feel just as much about guys. So those 6 panels just really get you inside her head and really make you empathize for her character. You're like, I really like her. I really, really like her.
In
here.
6 panels.
In 6 panels.
Yeah.
Right. And it just goes to show that, again, Jeff Parker is able to make you empathize for a character. Really makes you just go, I can see where she's coming from, and I like her. And that's really important if you're gonna like this story. If you don't like the characters, then it is gonna bore you.
Yeah, because like I said, it is a character piece, and if you don't feel anything for the characters, you're just not gonna like it at all.
Don't get me wrong. Steve Lieber does some incredible art.
No, the artwork is great.
The artwork it
complements the writing.
It's gorgeous.
Perfect.
It's gorgeous. And you know what? The thing that gets me about Lieber is that he doesn't need to do fancy panel layouts and flashy, he doesn't need flashy colors and special effects.
It's sequential art.
Yeah.
It just really looks like it's simple. It's one of those books, again, when we talked about Jason, about how his book, how it looks simple, but in actuality, it's really not. He just makes it look easy and effortless. And
this movie, there we go, Freudian.
Yeah.
This book feels like a movie.
Yes.
This feels like the opening chapter of a screenplay, and I can see this really working out as a drama. Get some good character actors together to play these roles and do their bit, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. Mind you, we haven't read the next issue yet, but Underground is a stellar independent book.
Yeah, we actually had on the blog when I do the weekly posts of asking people what they're going to get. I actually had this as my pick, the picture that I put up, and one of our normal commenters was able to find the PDF online and read it, and he didn't know anything about it, and he loved it.
Yeah, it's good. It's just really good, and again, I just have to appreciate. I got to give props to writers like Jeff Parker and artists like Steve Lieber who just churn out good, solid, entertaining work on a regular basis. And, but they're never going to get, or they're not getting the same kind of attention as a lot of the mainstream fanboy superhero stuff.
Right.
Which is too bad.
That is.
I will take Underground over any Avengers book right now.
Oh, I would too.
Yeah.
Easily.
Over any Avengers book.
Me too.
So, that's our review. When we come back, we're going to revisit yet another title that you know we love. We'll see you then.